Hello and welcome back to the channel. Thank you for joining me in another of my fabulous interviews. Do you remember last year? Were you one of those very lucky people who went right up to Scotland to a place called Crieff? Do you remember that? Were you there? I was, so was the lovely Julia, and so were my two guests because we were there at the behest of the very lovely Barbara O'Neill. We had such a fantastic time, and Barbara enjoyed it so much she said, you know what, I'm going to come back. So today I'm talking to Steve and Jane from the Good Food Project, who've been looking after Barbara and making sure that we are going to get double the amount of her this year. And welcome to the show, Steve and Jane. It's lovely to have you on board again.
It's lovely to be here. Thank you. Good to see you again, Richard.
It's good to see you. So she's coming back and we're doing more.
Yes, last year was great. That was our first big event. Thank you to you, Richard, for being the MC. That took a lot of pressure off me, and you did a considerably better job than I would have done anyway. So thank you for that. But
Well, that's very kind.
Barbara sends her regards to you, and she was very pleased when I said that you were coming back again as MC this year.
Oh, that's marvellous.
Yeah,
so everyone else that's signed up
yeah,
for tickets.
Yeah, you're a popular man, Richard. You're very popular.
You're part of the draw, Richard.
Am I part of the draw, like as in, lucky draw? You get Richard
Host to
take
over.
The
booby braai's part of the draw.
Yeah, thanks.
No, so people enjoyed that, Richard, and it's good. I mean, you put a lot of effort into these things, the little snippets between speakers coming on and what Barbara's going to be talking about, and it sets the stage for the audience, and they enjoyed it. So you and Julia's dancing and all that stuff was...
Oh yes, I forgot about the dancing that we did.
That zany dancing, but yeah, no, we enjoyed it. We had a great time, and Barbara had a great time. So it's about having a nice event for Barbara. But the crowd that we had last year was amazing. And again,
Yes.
People are stepping forward. I speak to most people who are going in some shape or form about their tickets or hotel rooms or whatever. People are really nice. A great energy, and I think that's why a lot of people want to come to these Barbara O'Neill events, because there are very few situations, Richard, where you get to spend time with hundreds of other people all on the same page with you, with someone like Barbara O'Neill who's going to give you that benefit of her knowledge that she's got.
It's an education.
But live, Richard, you've seen her live. Barbara's a tiny wee woman. She's really quite shy by nature, but see, when she's on that stage, she is a powerful speaker.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And she knows her stuff, and she works so hard. That was what really took, she didn't sort of just come in and do 10 minutes and thanks very much, I'm off. She was there all day.
All day,
working.
Books,
yeah.
Photo opportunities, and plenty of photo opportunities. A lot of people want to speak to Barbara. Everybody wants to ask Barbara their own question. We get this a lot.
Yes.
I'll come, but can I speak to Barbara about my son or my daughter or myself? Barbara tries really hard to have private little conversations with people, but it's impossible. There's so many people. If everybody spent a minute with her, Richard, there'd be no time for the lectures,
No, I was very lucky because at the end I managed to do the interview, which you very kindly facilitated for me. So I had about 40 minutes to ask her lots of questions, and of course
we'll do that again this year, Richard, at the event, and I'm sure Barbara would love to do that. And we've got Ian and Karen back there and seeing us again. So,
and she does. We are offering a Q&A session on the Saturday for anyone that's got particular questions. They can put it into the kind of ballot type thing, isn't it? And then she'll choose the questions and just go through them all that day. So that's one option for people if they've got a specific question for her.
And that worked very well, didn't it? I think that was the last day.
Saturday morning, yeah.
Yeah, the Q&A is a big one. So this year, the first event we've got. So Barbara enjoyed it last year. She's given us 3 events to do this year for us. So we have the first one at Cranage Estate, De Vere Cranage Estate in Cheshire. Lots of people last year, because the event was in Scotland, they were saying, when are you going to do one in England, blah, blah, blah. And we thought, right, okay.
Yeah.
England first. And this is a beautiful hotel. It's kind of like Crieff Hydro.
Just a smaller version.
Smaller version. We'll probably have 500 people there over the 5 days. So we've got 5 days, starts on the 20th of May, ends on the 24th of May. You have the website address, Richard, that you can share with your viewers.
You can't see it, but I'm actually sharing it now, and we're looking at the screen that shows these dates. So I'm just demonstrating this to the viewer.
The 24th ends with a dinner, so anyone that's coming on the 24th for the dinner would be probably staying overnight to the 25th. So
yeah,
it's near enough a full week, and we are pretty much getting the full run of the hotel as well, aren't we?
The hotel have been great, and they're actually going to do something very different for us, Richard. You know, with your in-person ticket, you've got morning and afternoon teas and snacks and lunch included. And if you're staying at the hotel, you've got breakfast. There's great deals on the hotel. It's quite a low-cost way to do it, this one. But what you've got with the hotel is they're putting in some Barbara-esque type meals. Not everything, because not everybody eats like Barbara, and not everybody's vegan or vegetarian. But they're going to have some breakfast with Barbara choices in it, some lunches, some snacks.
So they've gone through her book, the recipes in one of her books, and they've kind of taken examples of that, and they're going to kind of make them in their own way, aren't they? And make them
wow.
So yeah,
we'll be able to see if Barbara really eats what she says she eats.
That's true. And they're also, I mean, they've been great to deal with. They're going to look after as well. They're going to do some little set piece menus at night. So it's going to be a good place to stay. And I say this to people often on the phone, Richard. A big part of these events is what you learn while you're in the main hall. You're listening to Barbara and other guest speakers. And you're with lots of people. But when you get out, it's the conversations, the networking, you know, I really am not alone in this world, and everybody you speak to is on the same page, more or less, give or take a few
and
different
Crieff,
theories.
There were a lot of people that made new friendships in Crieff, because a few people went on their own, and it was a bit daunting for them to go to something like that, not knowing anyone. So we kind of made an effort to try and connect people who we thought would get on, but everyone just...
It just works.
They all clicked, didn't they? Yeah,
it really did.
It was really nice. And Julia and I were sort of in between the sessions, we were sort of chatting to people, and the rapport and the feedback was brilliant. Everybody loved it. There was a real healthy, buzzing atmosphere. The vibration was really high.
It's high energy. It really is high energy. And
we thoroughly enjoyed it.
Because a lot of people who think like us, they are alone. They don't have a lot of people in their group who think like them. So to go to an event like that with so many people, hundreds of people like-minded, that's therapy in itself, because they can just sit and talk freely with them and just feel...
It's a big part of it.
Yeah.
And for anybody who's thinking of coming on their own, I mean, Jane and I, last year we were all hands at the pumps trying to make sure it was great. This year we've got a better handle on what we're doing, we hope. We're there to welcome people, to make sure everybody has a good time. Our job is we're on the customer satisfaction team. We're hosting them, we're welcoming them. We want everybody to enjoy it. We'll be hooking people up. No one's going to feel alone. So if there's anybody who's on their own, getting a ticket on their own, they're certainly not going to feel alone when they get there. They'll feel that they're part of the family, and I think that's really important for people.
So you've mentioned the one in Cheshire. What's happening in Scotland then?
Good question. Crieff Hydro was our first event with Barbara last year. That was amazing. It's a beautiful hotel. They couldn't do the full 6. We've got Barbara for 6 days in September. They couldn't do the full 6 days. So Jane and I had a bit of a quandary, because Barbara loved Crieff Hydro. Richard, you loved it.
Yeah, it was very lovely.
We loved it. I mean, these things are a holiday as well. You know, you forget that you're getting a break from your life. You're getting a break from scrolling on your phone. And you're getting ready for the next phase of what lies ahead, and just that whole self-healing. You are your own doctor. Get your health, get your life in order. Now's never been a better time to do it, Richard. You know, it's the time to... It's the time to get serious about your health. Your health is your only wealth, really. and Barbara's an expert at getting that across. So in Crieff last year, Crieff said it was one of the best crowds that they've had. The Hydro were really happy. And it was a great crowd, Jane. You know, they were very good. There was no...
And the staff and everybody at Crieff itself were excellent, weren't they? I mean, they
were
were on the ball.
Yeah, they're good.
Very,
I mean,
very lovely people.
It's a family-run hotel, so that throws something into the mix for us as well.
We go where, you know, we know what kind of vibe and energy we're bringing, and we're looking for that to be reciprocated, and that worked well at Crieff. So they wanted us back. Barbara loved it. She wanted back. We wanted back. So because if they couldn't do the full 6 days, we thought, well, we're not going to not do Crieff just because of that. And everything happens for a reason, Richard. And everything sort of falls into place. So we decided to do 3 days at Crieff and the following 3 days, so that people had the choice of 2 3-day events at Trump Turnberry, which is owned by Donald Trump, but they're not picked it because of Donald Trump, although Barbara is a fan, but that's neither here nor there. We don't want to get involved in the politics of it, because Trump be your most divisive man on the planet. But
we are apolitical in that way, and we're pro-choice. So and it's an amazing hotel.
Well, it's more about it's a beautiful hotel. It can house up to 500 people, so a lot of people from Crieff are going to move down there. But it's proven to be very popular. So
it's a great
these are 2 Scottish locations, 2 beautiful hotels, Jenny.
The location is right on the beach. It's about a 5-minute walk across the golf course to the beach, where people can go wild swimming in the morning before the lectures start. And
there was an element of that when we spoke about Crieff. There was, you know, a lot of people say it'd be nice to go for a dip, and as I said, you know, divine inspiration or divine chance, if you like. The Turnberry one came up, and it's right on the ocean. If we want to go and dip in the sea before we start our lectures for the day at 9 o'clock,
awesome.
We can do that. And well,
let's hope it's nice and warm.
Richard, you'd be in, wouldn't you? You and Julia would be in.
I'll be in there. Swimming in the cold September Scottish waters, no problem.
I'll stay in the swimming pool.
It's about challenging yourself and getting out your comfort zone.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. Yeah, I notice on the website people have only got 163 days, 16 hours, 32 minutes, and now 1 second in order as we record this.
That's right. That's for the so our focus just now, Richard, is on the Cranage Estate event. We've got the full 5-day event where people can come to every single lecture, plus the Q&A on the Saturday, and we all get a chance to do a private dinner with Barbara and the team and the rest of the guests and guest speakers as we wrap up the week and we say goodbye to each other, and we kind of, relax after a crazy week and let our hair down. Richard, no insults intended there. Let our hair down and, you know, have a laugh and enjoy yourselves.
Absolutely. And that's in 38 days, 16 hours, 31 minutes and 10 seconds. I'm just showing the website there. And counting down. Yeah. And you've got other people on board as well as Barbara and little old me.
Yes. Dr. Malcolm Kendrick, who's written a couple of great books. The Cholesterol Con is one of them. Barbara talks about this book often. She brings it up quite a lot in her lectures. I don't think there's a lecture that she does that she doesn't name drop that book. So she's a fan of Dr. Malcolm Kendrick, and Jane and I looked at it and thought, who do we want as guest speakers? And we've tried to find people that Barbara likes as well. So we've got Dr. Malcolm Kendrick there. He's doing 2 lectures. So irrelevant of which lecture, which 2 days people choose, or the 5 days, they'll see Malcolm Kendrick. And then in September, we've got James Nestor, who wrote a book called Breathe. Again, another one of Barbara's favourite books. Someone gifted her that book, Breathe. She read it cover to cover, Richard. Loved it.
I've read it. Yeah, it's a great book.
Yeah, she put it down, read it cover to cover, put it down, picked it back up again, read it cover to cover again, and then immediately bought 6 for all her family. She loves the book. She gives it regularly as a gift. It's a great book. Everybody should read it. We've got James Nestor coming to term.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yes.
So we're, and again, one of the really good lectures that Barbara's going to be doing at Cranage is her top 10 books. Now, Barbara's got a mind like a steel trap. Her memory's unbelievable, Richard. You would have seen. She doesn't refer to notes. She knows her stuff. She's learned a lot from books. So one of the things that we wanted to tap into her knowledge, well, we've got Barbara to visit the UK and do this kind of thing, is to ask her, well, what are your favourite 10 books?
Yes.
Why? So one of the lectures there is she's going to talk about her favourite books, and we're going to have those books there as well so that people can buy them. And it's about having that knowledge in your head, in your hand, having access to it no matter what goes wrong in the world. But understanding that you've got these natural remedies up your sleeve for you and your family should something go wrong.
Those books are also an essential resource, really. So it's important to have a little library in your home of all that knowledge that you can refer to, because who knows what's going to get wiped off.
Absolutely. I'm always buying books.
Yeah, so that is an important category that we're just building at the moment, books on natural health and things. So.
Yeah. And books.
Sorry to interrupt you, but whilst you're on that subject, just to point out that the internet, of course, is not always everybody's friend, and there's a lot of fake accounts out there trying to push supposedly Barbara's work. And at the moment, you're really the only place that people can buy Barbara's books from. Is that correct?
Us and Little Barn Health in the UK, who are really good friends of us, and Barbara, we work closely with them. So we're the UK distributor. It's only us and Little Barn Health in the UK, and there's a reason for that. If it's not Good Food Project, it's not Little Barn Health, and it's selling Barbara Neill books in the UK, it's not the real book.
Right. I just thought we'd make that clear, because some people will go out.
No, the Barbara's books, the reason that we have this is, in the past, people were selling Barbara's 25 quid book for 75 quid.
Right.
Barbara didn't want that. So we basically said 25 quid is the price for the book. And these scammers, who then were selling, I think, real books, but probably fakes then, they were marking up the book because people couldn't get it. So we got out to market and made it available. And then the scammers thought, well, let's just undercut them. They've ripped the books open, printed it on very poor quality paper. They're selling them for next to nothing. But people are happy to pay Barbara's price for the book, which is the right price for the money, the effort she has as the author of the book and the printing costs you've got. People are actually happy. They don't want to pay the scammers. They don't want to give their data to the scammers.
No, quite.
Because they'll come back for more, Richard. We know that these scammers are getting people to buy a book, and then they're knocking on their door, not literally, but possibly. But they're sending them emails and saying, would you like a consultation with Barbara? $2,000 they're charging to speak to AI, and they're ripping them off, pretending that they've got advice.
It's just outrageous.
You know, they're selling pills to them. You can't give your details to scammers is basically the key here.
Absolutely.
And the books are going to be on sale at Cranage Estate. And Barbara does a lot of photo opportunities. You saw that the last time you mentioned.
Yes, absolutely.
She sits with people. She signs the book. She gets a little photograph taken with them. And she spends as much time with people as possible. So this is going to be a very good event for getting close to Barbara and
interactive, because as well as that, we're going to have exhibitors there demonstrating their wild and wonderful devices and selling their products. Clive de Carl hopefully is going to come along with his magic chairs. They were a great hit in Crieff last year. They were cute.
Oh yes.
Right through the door waiting to get on his magic chairs. So he's going to be back, and there'll be other people there that are going to come on board. So in the break and between lectures and lunchtime and after all the lectures, there's going to be an opportunity just to congregate there and see what's
we'll have our shop there. There'll be other exhibitors there. We've probably got enough exhibitors now, but if there's any exhibitors who'd like to be
involved
there with this type of crowd, then get in touch with us. But we've probably got all the exhibitors that we need. The other speaker who we wanted to get there was Dr. Vernon Coleman. Richard, you'll be aware of the old man in
Oh,
the
yes.
chair.
Yeah.
He's a good friend of our business, the Good Food Project, and he talks about it as often in his videos. He's not doing so many now. He can't make it in person, but he's going to record a little old man in a chair current video for us, which will be beamed in exclusively on the event, and people will be able to watch Dr. Vernon Coleman there as well as part of this. So we've got Barbara doing 16 lectures over 4 days. We've got Malcolm Kendrick doing 2. We've got Vernon Coleman getting piped in for a lovely video stream. And we've got one other speaker who we're just about to announce quite soon for another couple of lectures. And there's a lot there that, the days are going to start at 9 o'clock sharp.
Yeah.
Probably going to finish at 6. There's a lot to take in. Everything's relevant. Sometimes people think, oh, I don't want to go to that one. The one you think you don't want to go to is the one that connects and makes you think, right, that's connected to that, connected to this, and you join the dots. That's amazing.
And then in the evening, there's an opportunity to gather down in the restaurant. In fact, the hotel are doing they've got an outdoor kitchen, and they're going to put on a special night. What's the theme? Is it paella?
They're going to do some paella nights.
Yeah.
They're going to do some barbecue stuff, and they've got some nights planned.
So, and people can gather around, bring their musical instruments and sing and dance.
Oh, great. I'll be able to bring my triangle. Ding. It's about all I can play.
You could do your mime.
Oh, yes, I could do a little bit of a mime.
Bring your unicycle and stuff.
Yeah. If people are at the hotel, Richard, that's got swimming, spa, sauna, gym.
And lovely grounds to walk around as well.
It's got a nice view to it, beautiful hotel, nice breakfast. It's going to be a good little venue, this one. We think it's going to be something that we'll use again fairly quickly. And it's nice, Richard, to have places you can pick up the phone and say, right, we're coming back. It's going to be Richard Vobes, Clive de Cal, and we put together.
Yeah, they might mention my name. They might put the phone down. It sounds amazing. And just remind everybody who's watching the Good Food Project, if they've not heard about it before, of course they should do. What do you guys do?
Well,
give yourselves a plug.
Jane and I mean, we've been looking at what's been going on out there for some time, and like a lot of people who are watching your videos, you've got serious concerns about the direction of travel in terms of the world and, your personal freedoms, your freedom of choice, your freedom of speech. And we were concerned particularly about the food. You are what you eat, Richard, and food is your medicine. And if the food's not good, you're not going to be healthy.
Yeah, we could see the attack on the food supply coming down the line, and everyone who is alive at this moment can see that just with the attack on the farmers just now.
Mm-hmm.
They're destroying the food industry at the moment and hijacking it for their own interests so that they have full control over it. So
some of these ingredients that they've got in the food, Jane, under the cover of darkness, if we attempted that here, we'd get strung up.
Yeah.
But people are turning a blind eye to what they've done with the food, Richard. You look at your Yucca app and you look at what's in that food. They're going to have to be answerable for the damage that they've certainly done. They understand that people are creatures of habit, and they're in the habit of cheap food. Tesco, pick up the phone, rinse and repeat.
Open all hours.
But it's not great food, and it's getting worse. And the fruit and veg is not good. Even the organic brand stuff, Richard, is entry level. We believe it's not good quality. They're kind of soulless. We call them the soulless supermarkets. They are
so you've got. Yeah, so I just wanted to bring the attention to you. I'm going to put on the screen your webpage, which of course the front page we've got the lovely Barbara O'Neill on, and then people can go there and see
It's basically a one-stop supermarket shop. That's what we wanted to create, an alternative to the high street supermarkets, and reduce the control that they have over our food supply, because they're all connected. The same people on the board of the pharmaceutical industries are on the same boards as the food companies, and all the corporations connected to the farming industry as well, what they're supplying, fertilizers and everything. So it's really, we wanted to create an organic online supermarket
for discerning people.
Yeah. And none of our brands that we stock are connected to any corporations. We won't stock anything, even that are 1% owned by a corporation. So we're really quite meticulous in our research for the brands that we use.
And we deal with small farmers for meat, and we've got lovely fruit and veg, and we've got organic. Yeah. We've got an organic license for wine, which we're putting back on just now. And beers, everything that you would go to a supermarket for, really, Jim.
Cleaning products,
everything.
Personal care. We've got health supplements. We've got water filters.
A great range of books. I mean, you can.
As you're talking, I'm just scrolling through them. We've just looked at the amazing amount of meat that you've got, which is great. And I'm just looking at your books now with "Sustain Me" by Barbara Neill.
Yeah, and we've got all the things like castor oil and Celtic sea salt. I mean, that's a good example, Richard. Celtic sea salt's an absolutely huge seller, packed with minerals that people need, your body needs. Why is it not in Tesco?
Yeah,
they would sell it, but they're selling that plain white table salt.
Yeah, which isn't good for you.
But why is it not there? You ask that. They could put it in. They don't. They're never going to have your interest. Everything they're going to do, they're going to mess about with labels. They're going to try and print your meat lab-based this. They're going to spray appeal on everything.
It's absurd.
They're going to try and spray. I listened to a news thing today. Hi, George. Sorry, Richard.
It's all right.
You got anything? Nothing there for George, no. Sorry about that, Richard. You might have to.
It's our delivery guy. Courier.
Oh, well, there we are. That's all real life, isn't it? It goes to show, people are coming in, they're delivering, you're ordering, you're sending stuff out.
We got more orders away earlier, thankfully, because we knew we had this on, so we.
Yeah. Well, listen. Let's not let this linger, because I think that people are getting the message. People will want to go and look at the website, go and decide whether they want to go to Scotland or Cheshire. Both parts of the world, lovely parts of the world. But the Cheshire one is coming up very soon, so you haven't got very long to make that decision. And it's a lovely, as you say, I haven't been there yet, but I'm very much looking forward to it. Julia and I are eager to come along. And of course, people can find out all about you at the goodfoodproject.co.uk, which I shall leave all the links in the description. And it's going to be great. And after we've done the one in May, will you come back on and tell us how it went and help promote the one in Scotland?
Yeah, absolutely, Richard. And it's a good point you make about people deciding whether they want to come in to the Cheshire one, which is probably the lowest cost one. The hotel rooms are cheaper. They've got plenty of free parking. If people want to drive and park, they can choose 2, 3 or 5 day events there, but they can also watch it online. Now, there's very little flexibility we've got, Richard, on the costs of the in-person ticket, but for your customers, we've got a special discount on the virtual ticket. So if they can't make it, don't want to get involved in the costs, can't get away from work, they can get a virtual ticket which allows them to watch all or some of it live, safe in the knowledge that after it, they can stream the recordings. We give them access and they can watch it whenever they want, pause it, study it, get the knowledge. Now, people read a lot. You retain a lot from what you read, but you retain infinitely more from what you hear and see at the same time. And Barbara's very powerful. I would suggest to anybody who could watch the recordings, try and take some time to watch it live, because you're there, part of it. Your energy is part of it. That's why guys go and watch football live. They could watch the recordings later. There's something about being part of the live event. We want we've got about 700 people so far. We'll probably have 1,000 people watching this online. They are part of this audience. They are part of this UK event, and their energy is actually really important. So we want as many people watching it. If you can't go, try and watch it online. And if you can't watch it online, you've got access to the recordings. You can study this stuff. Something comes up with a member of your family, you can refer to the video. Yep, this is the bit, I want you to watch it. This is what we're going to try next.
And you can be anywhere. It's not just UK based. You could be anywhere in the world. And
it could be anywhere in the world and watch this. And it's different.
Fabulous.
It's Barbara's most current stuff. She's learning off.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not a 20-year-old YouTube video you're watching. You're watching everything end to end. We had the camera people in today. We're going down to see them next week to make sure we want all the angles right on the board. You're going to see everything. You're going to up close and personal with what Barbara's doing. So the virtual tickets are very good. We've got a wee code for you, Richard. It's just Vobes 20, takes 20% off the price for any of your customers. And you've got a good customer base. Loads of them came the last time. So we'd love to see as many of them there in person or virtually as possible.
Brilliant. Well, can't wait. Can't wait. It's going to be fantastic. There you are, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure you're all very excited getting your tickets one way or another. And, of course, it'd be lovely for me to see you in person, gentle viewer, sitting there with great anticipation. It's going to be fantastic. And also, do check out the all the good food that is on the Good Food Project, because it is all good food. We get it and eat it, and we're healthy. So there you go. Brilliant. Steve and Jane, thank you so much for joining me and telling me about the event. Looking forward to seeing you a bit later on in the year. And I'm sure as we get closer to the time, you'll be biting your nails with all the organisation. But I know what you're like. You'll get it done. It went very smoothly last time, and that was the first time you'd done it. So very impressed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Richard.
And take care. Look after yourselves. And lovely viewers, do check them all out. Links in the description. Don't forget the discount code for the virtual one as well if you want to do that. Till next time, thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye for now.
Good.